crazy. So in this society, black people seem to care more about their street cred and whether or not people respect them in the streets than they do about their own safety. And that's something that I do not like. Me being a black woman who grew up in a primarily black neighborhood in the middle of the hood and then was taken over to a suburban area to go to school for about 5 years and then went back to a black neighborhood. I've lived both sides of it, so I completely understand. Then as an adult, I've stayed in a lot of primarily white neighborhoods, so I know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that we stay imprisoned in our minds so much. How many of y'all grew up in a household where you were told, don't talk to the white people? If they come to the door, act like you're not in there. If they ask you something at school, don't say nothing, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we got all of this going on in the hood. We know what type of stuff goes on in the hood. I ain't got to name it. Kids be unsafe. Kids don't be getting taken care of, all of that. But they're told not to speak up about it. When you speak up about it, doesn't mean that your kids, you'll never be able to see your parents again. That's not what it means. It just means that, hey, they're going to get on your back and they're going to go and check and see if this kid is telling the truth. And if this kid is telling the truth, they're going to try and tell you you got this amount of time to fix it first. Or if it has to do with drugs, they're going to be like, well, you need to go to rehab or something like that. But if you choose not to, what are they going to do? They're going to take your child. And when they take your child, what are they going to do? Cut off all communication with you until you start to do the things that they feel like you need to do in order to be able to be around your child, right? But as black people, we don't like that. And it's because of the way that we were conditioned. Because back in slavery, it goes all the way back to that. You don't tell master nothing, because if you do, you could wind up getting unalived, or you could wind up getting shipped all the way over to a whole nother state while your family's still here. So you don't tell master nothing. But with that being said, that caused a lot of things to continue to happen. So now that we are not in slavery, our ancestors were, but we're not. Why do we still hold ourselves to bondage by saying, don't tell the police, don't tell the schools, don't tell... Why not? That's what they're there for. There are so many mandatory reporters that actually care. Are there some corrupt people? Yes, there's corrupt people in every field. You might be a corrupt person at your job. But does that mean that nobody cares? No. They go through FBI background checks. They go through so many different loops they have to go through in order to become a worker. Now, as I stated, there are people who abuse the system that work for the system. I'm not saying that those people don't exist. But you have a voice. You can continuously make reports. You can continuously make a paper trail. And it might take a little bit of time, but everything can be figured out and situated if you actually make a paper trail. But black people be so stuck on what people in the hood are going to say about you that you would rather live a life that is unjust, that is unfair, that feels like slavery, all because you don't want to tell somebody who can actually help you.